You can build a composition that's going to highlight this. Again, the Gord has been making waves throughout the meta right now. This ends up working out really well with the Marcel if they decide to go and put that in the hands of Sanji. We'll see if that happens. Team
Okay, guys.
on the other side can most likely pick up the claw now.
Kita mulai game pertama, Grand Final antara Tlph melawan Falcon PH, guys. Kita lihat di sini tim Monster bermain ya. God ya pokoknya.
If you can pick away mid or EXP. And it is a mid. Haji on this Valentino was key and instrumental to their victory against Onyx PH yesterday. Considering that the Juicin could be a pickup for Team Liquid Philippines, the Eve is good. And that might force them to go for Valentina.
Okay.
Pot. Boleh.
Probably the Harith. I don't know if they'll decide to, if they just wait for the jungle pick here, especially given the fact
Falcon
that
PH.
one or two of the top most picked junglers are banned out right now.
The Harley Leomord trade is still up.
Yeah.
If ever it's going to be the Harley Leomord trade, if Liquid want to block maybe a utility style jungler from Falcons, that would be good. Because the Fredrin is still an option. But Liquid keeps playing defense on their drafts.
Oh.
By taking away some of the best picks of Falcons.
Okay, so are we saying they're playing defense in the draft so that they can have all the offense in game?
Yes. Because when you have a roam jungle duo such as the Marcel and the Fredrin has a lot of space to potentially invade because you're constantly getting information with the Marcel. While of course the Paquito now, Falcons has to consider number one.
Thank you, go popularnya dan lain-lainnya, Mas.
Kind of awkward. Then the other option is they rush a Benedetta, one of the few
Coba,
heroes that can
habis setting guys.
does right now.
Yeah.
Buset, Sanford, Paquito, dan juga ada Fredrin. Paquitonya harusnya damak di sini ya, bro, karena udah ada Fredrin ya.
With the chance that this is also probably a Harith.
Yeah.
Leomord, oke, hero kanan so far so fucking good.
So they lock it in.
Leo
This is
Claude,
first
Eevee.
phase. Solid on both
Kemarin,
sides. There's a clear plan here.
orang yang pick
I do
Claude
like
menang.
what Team Falcons is doing because this goes ahead
Win
and
rate-nya
it
tinggi
gives them
banget.
that box.
Cuma
We
lawannya
mentioned this
Tlph.
yesterday.
Kita lihat,
It was pivotal in their
bisa
match.
kata Tlph
They
menumbangkan
need to go to
Claude
fight
ya,
around,
bukan
fight
menumbangkan
into that
Falcon,
box, and
guys
that
ya.
just happens to be the real world manipulation with the Eve here.
Kecuali game tengah.
Falcons combination is with the Leomord, you
Moscow
want to be
menang.
able to get early wins.
Well, let's see. We're going to throw it over to the on-ground panel to break it down a little further.
Thank you so much to our casters. And over here at the on-ground channel would be me, Brigida, together with Wolf, our analyst for today. And kanina nakita na natin, isang kagulat-gulat na pag-prioritize ng Team Falcons on the Eve in the first phase. Ano masasabi natin tungkol dito?
I think Briggs, ito ay parang deny pick as well as parang naging comfort na rin nila na develop throughout the playoffs.
Parang
Yesterday, the reason why they won against Onyx is nung ginamit nilang Eve up against the Jushin na happens to be open pa rin up until this point. So, I doubt na mapipili yung Jushin dito. Alam mo, lagi contested yung hero na yon. But in this grand final, baka mag-decide na dalawang teams na hindi na. Kaya nga, Gord nga yung binaba nila dito not the Jushin for Tlph.
So they will be willing to leave that open. And I think isa rin ito sa mga moments na talagang napapatanong ako kung ano yung mga magiging response ng Liquid in terms of the picks. But just the same, Team Falcons, I'm wondering, since the Paquito is open and the focus is once again taken out, what do you see as a potential response na manggagaling
Hari di Ben, Gord di Ben.
for this pick? Kasi wala na rin yung Esmeralda.
Karena banyak cece ya, hero kiri ya guys ya.
Tingnan rin natin yesterday.
Jadi bagus ya kalau Ben
nakagulat na
Gord.
parang hindi kinuha agad ng Team Falcons.
Kalau udah ketempelan sama Fredrin plus Gord udah guys.
Dapat kasi Fredrin eh. So,
Menurut gua
kailangan nila
susah buat
mapasin ng
selamat.
mapa. Like, pag naman yung
Damage-nya
Fredrin,
sakit banget bro itu.
is your actual answer to the Paquito.
MPL ID kapan? MPL ID tanggal 10 guys.
There is la. Kaso hindi nila kukunin yun up until lumabas yung Valentine.
MPL ID tanggal 10 ya.
Yung mage pick para dito kay Sanji.
And at the same time, I feel like nakita natin kung ano yung pwedeng maging implications ng isang slower-paced na EXP lane for Falcons. And na-highlight pa naman sa ating keys to victory na kailangan talagang maging aggressive lang all throughout the early ang Team Liquid Philippines. Even the Atlas though, gets taken out. Bakit kaya?
Well, siguro kasi
Apa ini yang bakal diambil nih? Butuh badan sih ini Falcon nih. Lawan kayak gini.
For example,
Hylos kah? Tabrak-tabrak pakai Hylos tuh bagus sih Hylos. Bawa kolam juga. Hylos atau Gatot sih.
Para dito kay
Yung judol ya.
Alam mo yung mga team, sabi nila sa akin hindi daw sila takot sa Valentina kung Atlas sila. Actually, parang mas lamang pa yung Atlas kapag merong Valentina. So I think that could be a consideration here for Tlph.
Yep, great way ang isang Atlas na nakapag-close in din bigla-bigla, magugulat ka na lang, no? Pero here we are awaiting if they will go for the Roam or EXP lane pick, and instead they go for the Hilda. So I believe this will be a Master Ogwen hero in the meantime. But a bigger question mark for a lot of us right now is what also
Hilda,
will be
Jir?
the KDP? Kasi
Yun
baka
na
yung
nga eh.
Valentina, yun na yung maging consideration for Sanji. But Teddy, wala
Esme nya di Ben. Nah, ini yang dimaksud.
Baka mapuwersa sila.
Gua kemarin guys, lu ambil lu ambil Pokito tapi lu harus ban Esme-nya. Ini Pokitonya enak nih di game ini guys.
Counter itong Eve. In fact, mahihirapan siya dun sa Eve kung sakali mag-carry dito. However, maganda naman yung carry versus the Claude in the laning stage. Another option here is the Bruno, but I feel like mas mag-focus lang sila dito.
Zuxin gak di-pick, iya Jir, nggak laku ya.
Consideration, but there's the carry.
Kimi malah guys, instead of Zuxin Kimi picknya guys.
Pipiliin nilang Falcons.
Kayak
Hilda pwede maging
Tlph ini
na lang. Minsan
draftnya ngeri gini ya.
Looking for somewhere along the lines of an Arlat here para sa Falcons kasi meron siyang synergy with the Eve at maganda siya kung sakali laban sa isang Pakito at as well as this carry.
Kimi loh, apa yang membuat dia Kimi ya?
Benedetta pa rin pero may
Combo sama Marcel.
But I feel like
Bisa
top
sih.
option dito, number 1 is that Arlot, number 2 Benedetta, 3 maybe they can consider the Terisla. Nasa baka matunaw nga lang pero yun, one of the considerations din yan.
Yeah, and because of the Hilda, I feel like they will be a bit more flexible when it comes to their EXP lane pick kasi meron naman na magiging in charge nung panggugulo mo talaga in the early stages of the game, and you would potentially expect to see Master Ogwen all over the map, though not necessarily directly, no, na magiging panggulo. But kakasabi ko lang ng gulo. They pick up the glue.
So even when there's a carry on the opposite end na pwedeng mangtunaw nga kapag hindi mo na timing yung seconds,
Glue.
magiging glue pa rin ang kanilang priority dito.
Alright, super fans.
Gas ya, kita mulai ya guys. Game pertama
Winner correctly for a chance to win
antara Tlph melawan Falcon PH di sini bro.
Gabi dito, Wolf, pero so far looking at the drafts, kanino ka ba magpapabor sa ngayon?
I like the Kimi and the carry. Ito yung na-expect natin doon sa second phase. Just looking at the banning coming out from Tlph, parang ito yung sinasabi ng
Dari draft sih gua
I like this.
sebenarnya suka Falcon ya guys ya.
Alright, and there we have our
Cuman
drafts
lawannya
locked in for game number
Tlph
1.
guys. Gua nggak tahu ini kenapa dia pick Kimi. Apakah masuk banget sama si Marcel guys Kimi itu guys? Atau gimana ya?
Tayo sa ating game number 1. Ibato na natin sa ating mga casters.
We have waited weeks, if not months, to lead up to this point in MPL Philippines Season 17. We've gone through rivalry after rivalry. Well, what matters now is the clash of the Titans. Let's jump into this best of 7 grand final.
Oh my God!
Will it be
Ali Bonek, welcome.
Falcons to get the first blood in the series?
XP Hilda bro, buset, sokolil kah?
Oh, hey, flat easy! Get the shield!
Wey!
Out of 40.
Ih,
Action
tipis sekali itu ya.
Seconds of the game.
Yeah, what a good read there, actually. Knowing that he already hit level 2, he went into the bush, flap, to get just a little bit of shield. And since Sanford was still at level 1, he could not take the risk of eating up a combo.
Whoa.
Oh my lord, Open here put down to about a sliver of health. What are these Titans up to?
They're trying to poke. They know they have to be aggressive.
Uh-oh, JP put down to a 5th. And the Falcons are just checking.
Yeah, so as I was saying it earlier,
Waduh, Kartiji di rusuh, bro.
First bloods, and Falcons know this, so they're upping
Mahal nih
the tempo,
golem nih,
continuing
90
their
gold,
invade.
guys.
As I mentioned earlier, they are taking pages off of Onyx book with the early game rotations, with the suddens where we thought that maybe that glue would go into the Roam, or excuse me, the EXP, but then they switched it up, which makes it a little bit easier.
Hildanya buang banyak banget ya, dia hilang berapa creep itu? 2 kayaknya.
Instead of looking at the
Dua
center,
creep hilang
they
guys.
look to the side and the presence of the Paquito.
So interesting because, you know, how many times have we seen Ogwen now pick up this glue pick? Whether it was originally planned or they just swerved it out, that's fine. Ogwen, for the most part, he's felt a lot of deaths on it, right, throughout the playoffs so far, and I feel like at the same time, this lineup, this ability to go ahead and bring in the Hilda, to go ahead and allow him
Ditabrak kayaknya ini Ferdinand ini ditabrak satu nih
will
guys.
help Team Falcons approach the fights better because before, it was mostly Ogwen playing up that front side, flap.
Oh, whoa. Here comes Kyle, holds in Barbiel. Stampedes through the 2 members of Liquid.
Gara-gara papat dulu. Stanfordnya.
Spacing them out, they go for the turtle.
Okay,
Be good.
they go for the turtle. Sandy's
Karat banget Hildanya, nggak bisa connect Hilda.
Flap's really low, so Falcons might have to give this up. There's no Phantom Steed either.
Hodges and RWA pulls it out, and in comes JP. Turtle turtle gets reset. Ogwin put down a third of his health. No one to mount. Just
Anjir, turtle-nya serem banget ya, cok.
a lot of ult spent by Falcons this early on.
Looks like it's gonna be a win for Team
What
Liquid.
the heck, serem banget ya.
They don't need to keep the aggression up. They go back into their rotations. I love what I'm seeing from these two so far. It really feels like I'm watching a more chess-like version of MLBB, maximizing every ability, every battle spell, and not
Loh,
giving away a
katanya
meaningless
libur dulu Angelin.
Shades of the early exchange from a Falcon.
Liburan dulu aja Angelin, aman.
Yeah.
There was a team fight wherein Haji also pulled out the item a little early, which led to the opponent getting the objective. Falcon's gotta fix that.
Yeah, he also had some clutch ones, you know, and so
Combo nih, banyak tuh pelurunya, Dar.
he's gonna go ahead and survive that again. This glue tanky enough to deal with some of this
Mas,
early
ikanku
pressure
sudah 4,
damage.
kamu berapa? Bertanya dengan nada lembut.
Together is like a granger in the Marcel. You freeze up all of
3 ikan legendku, babi.
the golden hour, then once it comes out, a big burst of damage. So, as awkward as it is for Ogwin, he needs to prioritize the Radiant Armor here. He needs that extra magic defense to survive the pokes coming in from that Kimmy. Despite them, yes, being a Fredrin and a Paquito, you have to look at the magic defense to keep yourself alive.
Yep, over on the gold lane too, you know, we've talked about the whole golden royale that we had here throughout MPL Philippines Season 17 Supermarket.
Gua rada ke tengah dulu biar kelihatan itemnya ya.
You know, got the upper hand against Severo, who was so impressive throughout the season, and then you have this point with Supermarket
Siapa prediksi Bang?
on the clock.
R7 rasa akan menang.
Up against
Tlph masih terlalu monster. Orang dari turtle satunya aja.
We've seen Claws just play so
Orang
well
itu,
in
bro.
so many different compositions.
Lu ngeliat itu Kimi-nya?
Seems to be handling the lane fine against the carry.
Serem banget anjir.
Despite us ending up with a Fred and Leomord matchup, it's not the, okay, everyone just farm up, manage your lanes, and then let's go ahead and see each other in the turtle. They're still trying to find small wins and skirmishes in the river. More modern style, old school, objective-based MLBB. So, yes, we might not see a lot of kills,
Tanggapannya, Mas,
but we
Big Mo.
will see a lot of
Cuma baru
action
dah
because of
farewell,
those
well.
little trades.
Yeah, I think that's why, again, you know, that K2V for
Gak ada
both
tanggapan
teams,
gimana-gimana.
micro is important, but even the macro, the objectives, we've seen sort of an evolution of the, you know, turtle and lord dances.
Neither have to be forgotten. You have to be good on both.
Yeah.
So if Falcons keep slipping up these micro decisions, they're not even going to get to these minute-long Lord dances.
Sanford brought Flap low, Flap got the recall.
Kayak ketinggalan ya.
Oh, Cloud
Manfaatnya.
in. And there's a golden hour to stop the turtle take. Down to an eighth of its health. Ogwin spacing out Carl. Sanji wailing away.
What the heck, Kimi yang dapat aja.
Now JP very low. Gets hit.
Selain ini timnya God juga ada hokinya ya.
First blood drawn by Sanji. Kyle
Bisa
falls.
Kimi yang dapat, jir. Buset.
Super Marco not finding anyone. 3 plus the turtle going over to Liquid.
Just when you thought Team Falcons would pull off that turtle
Anjing,
take, they
anjing.
end up losing 3.
Yeah, both retributions coming out early. Actually, Carl TZ and Kyle just both had,
Bisa.
if I'm not mistaken, maybe less than 100
Bisa
health on
bisa
that
Kimi yang
turtle,
dapat ya.
which was surprising enough. Saji being able to get the last hit. So, with Team Liquid Philippines getting the last hit on the turtle, they were encouraged to fight. They got that. Now they got a tower up top.
Lihat, gerobaknya dihilangin dulu, baru di-clear.
Super Marco's room to farm.
Hal
is
kecil
starting to run
kayak gitu, bro.
out.
Mahal
Falcons
banget
need to
ya.
start
Lihat,
patching
gerobaknya
holes here.
dihilangin
Team
dulu,
Liquid
baru
Philippines will
di-clear.
be able to
Makin
start the stamp and
kurang nih
leading
duit
the
Claude
civilians.
ini, guys.
This is a Fredrin that is packing the support emblem set. You get more cooldown reduction, and after that, it's brute force breastplate. Even more cooldown reduction, less time getting crouched.
Nafsu kah?
This Fredrin can snowball.
Oh, they baited out a response out of Marco.
Like that.
Goes in BMI through. 4 members of Liquid down bottom. I was about to say, why would they send Marco away preemptively when there was a fight? Bring it up!
Nice
Bring
duet.
the wet in the face! As they take
Wah, tukernya sama mid tapi ya. Masih untung, guys. Bah!
Ogwin falls. Flap
Oh,
and
tadi ada yang
Haji.
donate, bentar.
Wonder where did Ogwin and Marco go?
Not worth it there on the trade.
Mas, apakah akan berlaku kejadian MSC 2023 nanti di mana PH dipulangkan PH terus ketemu SRG di final?
Daddy JP
Bisa
finds him,
jadi.
And now they take down Flap. Flap fighting a losing fight here as the turret falls. So does
Udah lah,
he.
serem banget ini
They
Pokito
just
ya
don't
guys, jujur
stop.
guys.
Team Liquid find a moment of weakness and they keep
Tlph sama
pressing.
RRQ season ini jagoan mana mas? Serius nanya. Tlph sama RRQ season ini. Tlph lah anjir.
They still going.
Oh my lord, Marco!
Lu bandingin sama TLID juga kayaknya jagoan TLID bro. Gak usah ke Tlph dulu aja, itu mah melangkahi jauh banget. Kocak.
What just happened to Marco? Oh,
And
and
they
now
still keep going as Haji gets taken
the
down.
heck?
Ogwin does find them out. In comes Flap. This is a losing fight. Kyle calls in, but to be able to get caught in the golden hour. Oh, how is this going to last?
Mahal banget coy tim fight-nya coy. Gila banget coy ini tim anjing.
Are all gas, no brakes, not out of me.
Onyx aja kemarin lawan Falcon ngos-ngosan dikit ya. 50-50. Ini one sided aja.
Survive. Sanford packing dynamite in his hands.
Way too quickly.
Apakah ini nanti gambaran ketika Onyx di playoff?
With how they managed the map.
Onyx ID.
Falcon sending Marco to bot. Teddy was free to push, and you saw the chain of kills. This is just excellence in execution by Liquid. Good old Stampede.
Man, again, looking at this, an 8,000
Full damage anjir, Hunter Strike si Albert bro. Oh my god, mau brute force dia.
Often see.
Liquid are proliferating gold like they want to buy
Mau
RAM.
brute force atau wings itu guys?
Hey man,
Can I get some of that?
Can we all get some of that? Right now, Team Falcons has had enough of it. They're looking for more.
Barbiel called in by Kyle. There was just a feint as Liquid looks for more elsewhere on the map.
It's really tough. Falcons, they have to find this weird balance of getting their utility items, but getting their good items to start chipping away at Team Liquid Philippines. Crowdy's used red tree.
There's the pulse and
Gila,
planting
front to
a face
backnya,
full of
bro.
hits from Sanji. JP looking to catch him in the platinum snap and they let go.
Yep, they're gonna let go of that one, but again, they're gonna go ahead and get
Juara lagi kayak ini Tlph. Solo kill kah? Aduh, skill 2-nya Leo.
From Terry Bogard.
Got the combo.
Tetap solo kill anjing.
Sanford finds another. And they continue to pressure. Carldeezy Praisers Wrath. 3v4. Falcons not gonna force the issue here. Ogwin caught out once more.
The jabs.
Gila guys.
On this Paquito.
It's poetry in motion. It is the
Gila
greatest
sih.
orchestra you've never heard, yet you see. You feel it in your soul. Yes, I got
Beda 10.000.
Because what the hell are we seeing? This is some
Falcon PH dibikin beda 10.000 menit 10 guys, menit 9 bro. Duit mengalahkan menit bro.
You have to look across the board in these lanes here, just how massively ahead every single
Wings.
department at this
Hunter
point.
Strike si
Team
Albert.
Liquid has game
Wings.
one.
Pistol kah ini?
Wraps.
Last
You know,
itemnya?
this is so
Pokito ya?
difficult for Team Falcons to keep up with because you're going through this kind of deficit, this kind of difference in economy that even if you're trying to go ahead and send your frontline guys, they're just punching bags at this point. They're sure kills for TL.
Everything that follows from here is just procedure. Unless something goes very drastically wrong for Liquid.
Waktu tadi pakai emblem apa? Udah pasti fighter, udah pasti fighter.
Yeah.
Haji only has a glowing wand still on the way to his second item. Even a divine glaive would not help him out right now. A massive lead between the two gold laners with Teddy sitting at over 2,000 against the Claude. Still doesn't have the Trinity. But
Teddy
even
digendong
with the
for
Trinity
God.
up, you're still gonna
Teddy-nya
be
juga
waiting for
jago,
the next
guys.
item after that. What Liquid has done here
Teddy-nya juga
is an
jago.
evolution of what we've seen of the double marksman, double carry style of strategy, because they have an EXP laner that is much more high damage dealing and fast at rotating. It speeds up.
Okay, Aji pops that real world manipulation in hopes to defend. Sanford's inside, compromising Flap as they switch targets over to the inhibitors. Falcons can keep their inhibitors. Liquid is taking the disciplined route.
Yep, they'll keep them up. Base turrets though did take some damage here.
12.000
TL,
ya.
this kind of
Menit
lead looks
10,
good.
anjing,
Potentially take down
anjing.
the base turrets off of this too.
Ajik, ajik.
We'll see if Haji gets it back. There's the mid turret going to be worked on.
Kyle taking hits from Sanji. Down goes that mid lane inhibitor, and Ogwin gets annihilated. Super Marco blazing the way
Gila sih ini.
backwards as the golden
Tlph,
hour
Cok.
is brought out by JP. Teddy takes down the bottom lane, top lane left. The only bastion for Falcons. Their base is about to get stormed.
Got the wave in mid. I don't know if I can recall seeing this kind of lead in the MPL Philippines Season 17 yet. 14,000 gold under the 12-minute mark is absolutely insane for Team Liquid on this Stampede in Game 1. Team Falcons hold on to one base turret.
14-1 guys, anjir.
What do they do here?
13,9k perbedaan
Where you have to
network
start
guys.
just thinking,
Menit
"Okay, we gotta
12
go
nih
game."
OTW. 14.000 anjing.
And I wouldn't be surprised if they're all
Jancok.
Yeah.
See what we can do so that we
Main
don't end up with
apa,
that,
anjir, kayak gini?
lineup again from Team Liquid PH. And well, if you want to look back at history with gold gaps like these,
Gila,
Falcons
eh.
is the only team in MPL PH history to make a comeback down 16,000
16.
gold. Was that 2 seasons ago or last
Against
season?
Aurora.
Yeah, against Aurora. Do they have another DNA? But then this Liquid team is just different, man. This lineup, it's way too difficult to make a comeback through. Again, it's a double carry with a somewhat carrying the EXP.
Oh, RWM trying to put down JP.
Mati kah?
Ogun gets the mount. They pick off Daddy JP. Flap gets taken down by Ted A, and Super Marco barely survives. One for one.
They just want to chase Ogun down. At least that move right there.
Iya, mati.
There's the pulse thrown out to cancel the conceal. Ogun with the
Udah,
split
mati, nggak ada skill
split.
dua,
Just
guys.
wasting time here.
Yeah.
Throws out the gluling. Krabby Patty sits, and he's
Dilamain,
already
bro.
wasted
10 detik
more than a
soalnya.
minute of Liquid's time. I think this is
No
mission
way.
accomplished for Ogun.
Ogun.
Today, one more. Ogun does the impossible. A 1-for-1 trade. Where the hell did that come from?
That's only the third kill. They're probably
Itu
not gonna get out of it.
bercanda kah anjing? Dipukul anjing temennya cowok si Teddy anjing dihabek goblok.
Quick star thing.
Shutdown anjing. Wah, ini kalau comeback sih ketawa aja gua mah.
So now, Flap just scrambling to get into a bit of brush there. I'm still not over how he did that.
Hey,
There are Falcons to my right and then behind us.
Dimarahin nggak tuh?
laughing.
yes.
They're probably thinking we're still probably going to lose this game, but at least we got that.
At least we got to see that. Hey, maybe this brings it to a point. Could Team Falcons go for just the Hail Mary play and try to take out the Lord in a retry steal?
Hey, they shaved off 3K.
They did.
God senyum artinya tidak baik-baik saja kah God senyum?
Patrick stepped in the right direction, man.
Imagine.
Susah sih, emang comeback juga masih beda jauh guys.
Is the turning point of a comeback. I mean, probably not, but cool. Falcons can't even get any opening of the map because Liquid
Tahu
has to
nih si
take
Sanford
care
di
of
atas
their
mereka.
They're-
Muter ke sana
They
deh.
realized that Falcons would still want to get the tower up top, so instead of sending a 5-man around the turret,
Wah, dibunuhnya next wave
keep
ya.
Sanford there, and Sanford was more than enough to stop.
Biar
Falcons from
lane-nya
trying
bagus
to even
dulu,
push
guys.
Up top.
Yeah, I like this.
Bang coba ngomong wujud asli
of
viewer
course,
R7 nanti
the
aku
build that
edit.
Sanford's going, because we've seen a couple different
Wujud
versions of
asli
the
viewer
now,
R7.
so he's just got the wings, the Oracle,
Apa sih itu guys?
but he's able to go ahead and pump out enough damage.
Itu apaan, Jim?
because of the damage items he got.
In hindsight, most Paquitos just build the same way at the end.
Yeah.
It's just what you prioritize first. And here, Sanford said, you know, I'm going for knockouts. He starts to build damage first. Now, Liquid looking to siege that tier
Ulang.
up top. Count easy very low. Flap easy looking for it. In comes Barbiel. Blazing.
Bentar lagi team fight. Woi, shutdown ya.
What a gold easy falls. Golden Hour able to
Woi, langsung hilang cowok leonya cowok. Kena combo.
on as Kyle falls before
Tower
anything
Tlph belum hancur. Iya, masih perawan semua towernya bro.
Sorry.
Conceal use, JP going for the back.
Going for it. There's a tracking shot. Lord still standing. Super Marco and Flap use everything to try and take care of this wave. The Lord wailing away. Sanji blasted the members of Falcon, and that's it. Liquid
No mercy bro, no mercy bro.
take it. Game 1.
Dominant.
Terlalu dominasi.